All right. Oh, gotta get my screen shared here. One sec. Boom. All right. Sorry for the slight delay. All right. Welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It is Sunday, February 6th, 10:49 a.m. in the Arizona desert. Sorry, I've not been around for a day or two. Just, busy. And for the most part, the market was pumping. What news was there really to cover? But now we're beginning to slow down. And this is an interesting moment here on Sunday. So we're going to check it out. And of course, as always, check out bitcoindailyview.com. Got more for you there. And hemp paste. If you use piece 20, you get 20% off anything. And they're having a special on the chocolate. The chocolate's really badass. Anyway, cool interview I did with the creators of the company. And as always, blockchain education, badass group to belong to. If you're a crypto trader, little infomercial here worth watching. And check out Trade Genius. These guys are badasses for both crypto and traditional markets. Being part of a team is essential, or I should say, it has played essential in my making lots of money. So, with that said, it's Sunday. So let's check out Proverbs 16:4. New King James Version. The Lord has made all for himself, yes, even the wicked for the day of doom. Now, some translate that as evil, some translate that as trouble. I've always liked the trouble version better. So, yes, God even made the assholes for times of trouble. So, if you have a psychopathic maniac who's being a pain in your ass, go. There's an advantage to this because if your heart's in the right place, that evil piece of shit serves you in some way. So, love them. All right, with that said, fear and greed index is at 37 today. That's nice. I like it. Although I think it's a little bit Pollyannish, okay? But I'll take it. Market indices. Oh yeah, of course. It's Sunday, so this doesn't really matter. Mostly red. That's how we left it. Looking at volume last 24 hours, we're at 1.8 billion for volume for Bitcoin explicitly. So Bitcoin volume, 1.8 billion last 24 hours, a drop by 45.7%. Market buy orders down 44%. Market sell orders, I guess typically that's green, so up by 46%. So anyway, volume for Bitcoin trading volume is extraordinarily low. And if you ask me, this is in the dump zone. Okay. I think overall we're bullish this year. I'm even kind of bullish right now, just that it's Sunday. Volume has been decreasing this weekend, and when you get this low, like below 3 billion, when you're hitting like 2 billion or something, when you're below 2 billion, which I don't often even see, that's when you just don't have much volume. That's when the whales can do their fun. Be wary. This is way more likely to jump. And so what? If we hit a wick down a little ways, we dump a little bit, doesn't matter. We're bullish. We're good to go. But just note, be careful. And what I've done, not financial advice, what I've done, I've put some nice limit orders in on the way down because I think we will see a flash kind of a dump today. Why not? 17 billion trading volume for Bitcoin on Masari, where crackheads go to look at ridiculously stupid numbers. It's not 17 billion. Anyway, coin market cap. Looking at spot trading volume last 24 hours, we're 11.2 billion for spot on Binance and 1.9 billion or right about 2 billion on Coinbase. Coinbase is down 40%. Last 24 hours, Binance is down 24%. Looking at derivatives on Binance, 37 billion. Need at least 50 billion for the market to be alive. 75 billion is where you start getting into a good day. So really, once again, volume is potty. Be wary, okay? Looking at the top 100 here, we're seeing a mix of green and red. Decentraland, Mana, up 11%. Axie Infinity, up 14%. I still keep thinking, that it's Axie Infinity. AXS will be the card, will be the coin, like the crypto asset that I will have wished I put $1,000 into and just set and forget. Kind of have a feeling that's going to be the case. Gala, whatever that is, up 24%. Let's see. Theta Fuel up 7%. Celsius, neat little card, is up 8.7%. Loop ring LRC up like 10%. Definitely have some movers in the market. So, well, there you go. Okay. Maybe we'll check out AXS before we get out of here. All right. Looking at longs versus shorts on Binance, where the volume is. Whoa, check this out. For Bitcoin on Binance, 44% long, 55% short. That is a wretched short bias. I think that they're probably thinking what I'm thinking. I'm bullish, but could we see some dumpage after the pumpage that we've just experienced? If you are glorious, if you are happy, and you are in profit, hey, just saying, be wary. Anyway, maybe it's time to scrape a little profit. If you got a short in that kind of ain't going your way, put a limit order on that thing. Maybe you'll get some profit out of it. It may not be too late. Anyway, 51% long, 48% short for Ethereum. Ethereum's chart does appear to be stronger than Bitcoin's right now. All right, looking at the bulls versus the bears, definitely seeing some big money going back and forth. Definitely seeing some, this is a 10-second, candles here, but definitely seeing some crazy volatility. They are messing with each other. They're kind of taunting each other. It's kind of like, oh yeah, well, you do something. Or yeah, well, you do something. So these guys are duking it out. Definitely some, and it's part of why I think the bulls and bears that I'm seeing here are duking it out so extremely right now is that you have low volume, so they can pump the market one way or the other. Like this little move here, or big move, as you can see, like they pumped it up, like they were right around what, like 41,670. They pumped it to like 42, 42.23, and then boom, dumped that thing, way all the way down to like freaking 41.37 because low volume. And then of course I think this if you look here at this trend here, that's more the natural correction of the market's going to just do. But these big bursts, when you're looking at volume like we've got right now, like where is that at? Here, refresh this, of like 1.8 billion on a Sunday for Bitcoin trading volume. That is like for these whales that are manipulating the price, short and long again against each other. Got the conference call going. These guys, they rule the day right now. So watch out. Once again, Hemp-Paste, radianthemp-paste.com. Get yourself some. All right. Bitcoin versus USDT here on the 45-minute chart. As we all know, we had this glorious pump. And this is kind of the truth. See, I oftentimes talk about these Blitz merit badges here. They're important. So we had this perfect setup on the 45-minute chart. We go above the 200 moving average. Blitz candle means we made it above the 200 and the 314 moving average in like one or two candles. Also, the 200 was above the 314. That's way positive. We pumped, did a kind of a BART pattern, and then exploded to bounce off that 314, and it was history, man. The one thing I'm somewhat like we did it as we went into the weekend, basically. Like this kind of started on like February 4th, which would have been like Friday. So, but ever since then, if you look, this is like a really tight, I mean, this is kind of neat actually to see it, a really tight sideways pattern. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's like, ooh, couldn't even call that ranging. Definitely these guys here are partying. I mean, they're in their conference call and they're making some friggin' dough. They are. But that's hard to long and short or trade in and out of for a retail trader. So anyway, our directional index, as you can see, it's been in the red. It's in the green right now. ADX is trending down. Looking at the squeeze indicator here, we're definitely on our squeeze has declined. We're in the red right now. Binary candles are still showing upwards momentum overall, kind of. KRI is in the green, but flipping. Stochastic RSI here in the forward 5-minute chart is still kind of in the party zone, along with the Waveton oscillator by Lazy Bear. So, this is not the worst looking chart. It's not, but the thing is that, we're riding on top of the RSI cave here. I like seeing that. All is well, but our volume is really, really, really low. And if I look at the 80, one of the most powerful indicators that I know of, really, the directional index and the ADX, you can see we're heading down, you know. So now let's keep on looking at this. I don't want to belabor any one point too much. Okay, here's all right. I kind of had my browser dumped and sort of, so I have to kind of fix things here. All right, this is a huge concern for me. Okay, so we pumped on the 2-hour chart here. Now we're hanging out at the 20 WMA. Not a bad spot. You know, we're kind of staying above it. So that's fairly positive. I like that. This has me worried though. With this low volume and it's a Sunday, check it out. This is a very, very negative MACD. That sucker's negative, you know, across negative. And by the time it crossed negative is when we kind of started just going sideways after the pump. So just beware. The 2-hour MACD, its trend, its crosses, its attitude definitely does tend to lend towards the tangent of the daily. I say that every time, but it does. So right now, the 2-hour MACD is showing some flaccidness, and it's just holding this 20 WMA. So we're strong, but look at the sideways action. You know, I mean, that's a pretty tight range, and it creeps me out. It's a little bit too perfect, if you know what I'm saying. It's a little bit too these guys. It's a little bit too much whale play for me, if you ask me. Especially when you see how happy they are. You realize how much money was made and lost right here with that move? I mean, and if you think there wasn't a conference call coordinating that with some big winners and some big losers, you know, it's what's that George Carlin said? It's a big club and we ain't in it. Well, I would like to be in that club and be in on those manipulations. So let's look at the daily here. Daily, we're staying above the 20 WMA. I like that. Nice move up. Beautiful green candle. Well, on Friday. Indecisive yesterday. And then today we are green overall. We definitely have sideways out. And if you look, this is kind of an interesting thing. I hadn't noticed it until just now. We really are hanging out previous support and resistance in the chart, you know, on the daily here. And if we do this, I think this is valuable. Okay, daily MACD still very, very positive, but watch out, its tangent may change with the 2-hour MACD blowing chunks and so much sideways action. So I'm gonna do here. Let's do it. Let's do this. I've done it before. We're gonna do it again. Okay. Let's look at a MACD. I'm not a MACD, a fib retracement in 2 different ways. Okay. Let's roll it from here. Okay. Look at a fib retracement, and where are we at? We kind of had a 7-8 where we kind of had we're kind of finding support here on the 786, but we're below the 618 golden pocket. So we're kind of a little bit in no man's land, hanging out with previous support and resistance in the chart. We definitely could get back up in that 618 golden pocket, which is kind of between 44,409 and 43,132. If we can get up there and also get above this 50 moving average, which is hanging out right at the bottom of that 618 golden pocket here on the daily, that would be kind of glorious. Then I think, yeah, we're going to stay there. There's a good chance we might get some grip, you know, because you can see it has respected the 618 before. So there's one way of looking at it. Now you can also, let me see if I want to do that. I think this may be kind of, probably in bed. You know what? Let's just do it for fun. All right, let's just go way back here and where are we at? If we take in a little bit more into this thing, let me actually go way down here. The daily, way back to March of 2020. If you want, I know people, you know, just bear with me. We are playing with previous support and resistance in the chart. We have been here before. If you look at that, there's previous support and resistance for sure. We kind of have a 0.5 bounce if you take this big picture into account, and we're still challenging that 50 moving average. We definitely could find the 382 here is 44,000. If we can get to like 44,000, like 44,000 even 100. We're going to start getting above this 382 fib level and definitely we'll be above the 50 moving average. That's when we really can start making a challenge towards this 200, which is way up at like, you know, 49,000. But anyway, guys, it's a good day. It's a good day. You know, the fib retracements, I always really invite people to try them a couple different ways, and you'll find that the moving averages, etc., do still work. And previous support and resistance does still work. So look at them in a couple different ways. You know, I think it has a lot of value. So like right here, as you can see, of course, the support and resistance doesn't change. We're trying to get back above that Never mind. I'm getting it's been I've not been sleeping well recently, so I'm gonna stop babbling about this chart. Starting to not make sense to myself. All right. Once again, here's the 45-minute chart for Bitcoin. As we can see, I would just be watchful. We're not seeing a lot of love right now with the squeeze index. We're really seeing like a lack of velocity one way or the other. KRI is pretty flat, even though it's bouncing between the red and the green. We're really, really sideways. That's a really, really um, tight range right there. We have low volume. It is definitely a profound moment for whales to do some funny work. So be careful with what you're doing. Basically, let me look at my 4-hour chart that I had that was really cool. Got screwed up, so I'll have to recreate that later. But Ethereum versus BTC is not really a play right now, I don't think. Well, looking at the 45-minute chart here, Ethereum versus BTC, definitely it's come down, but look at that. It's finding a nice balance here on the 200 moving average. And overall, its indicators are kind of, they show some upwards movement. So, a trade against ETH versus BTC, if you have confidence in ETH, that it can outclimb Bitcoin if Bitcoin gets healthy, or it may hold its own to some extent if Bitcoin decides to dump a little bit. I think this shows promise. I would just be careful right now. I'm kind of expecting a little bit of downwards volatility. That's just me, so I don't really want to do any trades right now. I'll admit I have a very small little short in that would make me some dough if Bitcoin dumps, but that thing might get liquidated. So that's just the way it goes. I did it with it's very small, very small. If we look here on Ethereum versus USDT, 45-minute chart, yeah, you can. Anyway, you know what? Forget that channel. I'm going to invalidate that one. Ethereum versus USDT, its chart's looking pretty good. I kind of almost would say it's a little bit stronger kind of than Bitcoin is right now. So Ethereum versus USDT. I mean, the chart looks like Bitcoin's. It certainly does. But it is not Bitcoin, of course. But look at that. It's probably going to do what Bitcoin does. So I don't know if I'd really want to trade Ethereum against BTC right now for some gains. But still, Ethereum doing what Bitcoin's doing. Sol versus USDT. You know what? Chart looks choppy. It kind of looks. Sol versus USDT is doing exactly what Bitcoin is doing. So let's do this. Not YouTube. TradingView. Look at Axie. Just cause I am wondering, I am really kind of, excuse me, oh my gosh, I'm a bit disheveled this morning. Life's been beautiful but challenging recently. AXS. Gotta admit, AXS versus USDT. I guess you can play it on Binance and KuCoin and Bybit if you want, and you can spot on Bybit now. I think. I guess you always could, but you can now, whatever the hell that means. And even Coinbase, you can go against Tether. So and Binance US if you play that one. So anyway, let's look at Binance because that's where the volume is. Let's look at a 45-minute chart. I am really watching Axie because like I have my own weird reasons, but I do think this might be one of those coins. Like I say, I'm kind of watching this one. I just want to drop like a K into like 1,000 tether, just because I think if I catch this thing in the right spot and I can keep it, keep the stops always in the green and kind of follow it up. I do think this could be a freaking maniac play in 2022. I really do. It's looking pretty strong right now. It's cooling off a little bit. It's at the top of its range. Like this thing is pushing, It's nuts. It doesn't even care if Bitcoin is having volatility. This is like the frigging badass psycho honey badger of crypto right now. So it's been pushing top of this RSI for a while. It's above the 200 moving average. It's only slightly sideways, if you can even call it that. Directional index is pretty good. Looks like it could turn up. Squeeze indicator could definitely go either way. Binary candles are showing positivity. KRI is looking good. It has slightly, dumped a little bit recently, as you can see there, which has kind of helped to reset the stochastic RSI. It shows we're back in party zone, but the which oscillator by Lazy Bear does not quite agree with that. So maybe give it a little bit of time. But then again, I'm gonna start to just dollar cost average some $100 trades into this, and then get up to about 1,000. Make sure that are all. I do it when it's going to be on an uptrend. Make sure I keep all the stops and profit. And I don't know. I could say AXS versus USDT. I really have a feeling this might be a just for my own damn reasons. I think this might be say the $1,000 that makes some life changing wealth. Seriously. Um, I'm not above gambling on a shitcoin. AXS, and AXS is actually hardly a shitcoin. AXS versus BTC. This chart's looking friggin' wonderful. If actually starts moving again, it's going to move against Bitcoin too. It's been an excellent trade. If it starts moving, excellent, beautiful, absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. Just like you, Bitcoin truth seekers. And sorry, I'm a little bit disheveled today and not exactly on it. It's just been friggin' busy and been pulled away a little bit. So anyway, guys, that's what I can tell you. Let's see what happens today. I would just be. I'm just watching this this very low volume, on Bitcoin trading, and I'm watching the spot trading being very low on Binance. And also the derivatives on Binance. And of course, the spot on Coinbase is pretty slow right now also. I'm just watching. And like I say, this really is whale manipulation territory. So whether you're bearish or bullish, definitely we are in a situation where you could see some friggin' maniac wicks in either direction. So just be watchful. This sideways is so tight. I almost don't trust it. That is that a little bit too perfect. And isn't this, and believe me, I'm a living Bitcoin true seekers. We're hitting that 100K this year. I'm not even worried about that. But still, isn't this kind of a rather like let me just do it like this. Isn't this kind of like a pretty serious location? Aren't we kind of setting up? I mean, seriously, for real, isn't this kind of a rather perfect BART pattern? We definitely could end up back in the 37,000s, before we move up. And with this low volume, especially looking at the 2 hour. Sorry, my charts are a little bit of a mess. I say my browser kind of dumped and I had to restart it, and everything's jacked right now. So, but I'll get it back together later on today. But watch out for this 2 hour MACD. Like I say, that dictates the tangent of the daily usually. And so it also kind of dictates the day, in my opinion. So be careful. This perfectly orchestrated sideways at previous support and resistance. Don't let the whales ass hammer you. Definitely. And myself, for me personally, I got some limit orders in. I got a small short in. I'm like, kind of a little bit delirious and playing some friggin' stupid games here. But all the same, it's glorious. And I don't think that Bitcoin's going to stay so perfectly orchestrated sideways very long. And with the volume, this might be some awesome sweet spot limit order buys. Just put your dream buys in on the way down. See if they fill. And if you're inclined to short, I have to admit I hardly ever do. I short like only a few times. Well, depends. I mean, I'm not a big shorter, but I have a small one in, and like I say, it's very small. But I'm confident enough that sucker might sell on a wick today, and that might be some friggin' why not make a little bit of money. If not, well, I get what I deserve being a friggin' shorter. Life's unfair for the shorter because they do bad things. Anyway, bitcoindailyview.com. Got more for you there always. Check out Hempage, check out Blockchain Education, check out Trade Genius. Tell them I said hi. This is a Radiant Creators project. Check out radiantcreators.com. Got some amazing interviews coming up soon that are just going to be freaking mind blowing. I can't wait for them. It's going to be a great year It's going to be a great year for Radiant Creators interviews in 2022 also. With that said, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon, and I'll be on later on today. If anything really starts getting sparky looking, and I can, I'll be back on to. I'm gonna start. I don't want to promise, but I'm gonna try to get into afternoon charts that are setting up well. And if we see that today, and I'm able to get back out here, I will. I'll do a video on that. So take care.